Green Bay day to day. Hey, welcome back in, boys and girls. It's your boy, Beefy Bitch. We're just jumping right into it. We're actually doing this on Sunday night. Talk a little bit about the Cowboys-Giants, sort of. I mean, I did kind of divulge that last week. But, you know, I mean, we out here. We'll do it again, right? Just quickly, the Chiefs drop to the Colts at home. In Indianapolis. The Chiefs dropped it in Indianapolis, and I don't know. I got a couple of guys that are good friends in the AFC that have favorites in the AFC. Well, really, everybody that I know is either a Broncos or a Chiefs fan, and it's mostly Broncos. Not too many that are Chargers, and only one that's a Raiders fan. So they're like, hey man, it looks like the Chiefs aren't only human, you know, they're bad allies. It's like, yeah, when they play that way, I mean, the amount of miscues that they had, you know, just the interception and the Chris Jones penalty alone, because you know, the ball is kind of bouncy and it's weirdly oblong and it's weirdly wobbly, you know, it kind of could bounce a weird way. If you take those two away, then the Chiefs at least tie it. And I'm pretty sure that they win it. So, you know, I don't want to spend too much time on it. I'm sure that you saw the game. The Chiefs are a huge team. But, you know, I mean, credit to where it's certainly due. Credit to the Colts. They played good defense. Sort of, you know. Again, it's hard to say, like, is it like, I think it's more that the Chiefs didn't play super well and less that the Colts just came out, you know, firing on all cylinders. Although either one or both could be true. Josh Allen throws 400 yards flat and loses. That's actually not a huge surprise to me. You really want that like sweet like 265 to 330, and then a good amount of rushing yards, unless your defense is just going off. And in fairness, their defense played pretty well, holding Tyreek, I think, to only 2 catches and like 30 something yards. So, but you know, they couldn't get that spike, and I don't know if it was intentional, but the Dolphins went ahead and got a safety. You know, it really obviously did not look to be, unless for whatever reason you wanted to make it look like an accident, so that they don't say, all right, you can't just take a safety, you know, later on. But you know, they ran 90 fucking plays, which is remarkable in any universe, but compared to the only 39, but practically 40. That the Dolphins ran. So, you know, I mean, it's not always about quantity, I guess. But, and then the Vikings, you know, they host the Lions, overcome a pretty substantial deficit. So, you know, they're hanging in. They're not going anywhere. But, you know, and I don't want to say that it's an inexcusable defeat, but I mean, they didn't play well at all against the Eagles. So, you know, part of you has to wonder, like, are the Vikings for real, or do they kind of just beat bad teams? You know, the Packers a bad team? No, you know, no. And so my buddies asked me a few interesting questions during the day that I thought I'd share with you guys and give some thoughts. You're absolutely right that there are a lot of other games to talk about. I thought those were the 3 most entertaining games. Then, of course, I'll touch a little bit on the Packers game before we call it a night. Would you rather throw a pick or never get the ball at the end of the game? They're talking about. You know, like, on the one hand, at least the pick, like, you had a chance to win. On the other hand, it's like, well, your guys aren't deflated with, I mean, throwing a pick at the end of the game, that's such a huge letdown. No matter, you know, honestly, even if you're playing for the other team, it's still like, oh my God, you hate to have it go out like that. But I mean, at least you had a chance. I think I'll take the pick. Thoughts on the Packers through 3 weeks? Man, it's so hard to tell within 3 weeks, but I'll stand on it. The defense looks like it's playing well. You know, if Tom Brady is the GOAT, then holding him to 12 points is something, no matter how old he is. And how depleted the Buccaneers were. They absolutely were. There's no question about that. They were depleted. But it's not like the Packers didn't suffer some injuries themselves. You know, we don't know really where Watkins is going to slot. It's very possible that And that was no, I think it was Watson, that rookie. Dobbs did play, if I'm not mistaken. Well, shit, no, hang on. Okay, a little bit of movie magic there. I did just double check to make sure. Dobbs did play. So without Watkins or Watson, I mean, it's like everybody's missing. Everybody gets injured. So it's fucking. I know it's going to happen. Somebody's going to be like, oh, well, Tom Brady didn't have his best fucking... Okay, the same thing happened last year for Aaron Rodgers, except for they were on the fucking road, and they beat a 7-0 team. So what the fuck? Explain it to me. How the fuck did they only get 12 points? If the Packers defense is so god-awful ass, and I don't really think that it's that great. I really don't. So, but what the fuck, like... Okay, so what are we fucking talking about then? Did they win or did they fucking lose? There's going to be somebody out there. It's either going to be Skip Bayless or fucking Colin Cowherd that's going to be like, yeah, but they beat a fucking depleted team. And it's going to be like, what do you fucking expect them to do? Just, oh, well, we'll drop it just cause. We don't want to beat a team because they're fucking injured all over the goddamn place. Packers suffered some injuries too. Dude, I'm fucking yelling. I shouldn't be. I'm sorry. It's so fucking stupid. I already know what's going to happen. Kind of tying into that, the bye week is late for Green Bay. Do you prefer it early or late? I prefer late. But, I mean, it might be nice to roll until like a week 6 one. I don't know what Jair Alexander's injury is going to be. Obviously, nobody really knows anything. It's just a groin, and he didn't really look all that. If he looked gimpy, I would be like, ugh. I'm kind of concerned, but he was walking pretty, he looked like he was relatively fine. That isn't to say anything. He might have a pretty substantial pull or maybe even a minor tear or something like that. That doesn't necessarily mean that, like, oh, you can't fucking stand just because you hurt your groin. Bakhtiari came back. Nijman was kind of having some problems. Josh Nijman, was having some problems. Yeah, I mean, I really like Josh Nijman. He's really stepped into every fucking position, except for, I think, left tackle or something like that, maybe right tackle. Aaron Rodgers said it, like, in a presser. I mean, he's one of those guys that, like, I think that Josh is, like, on his best day, a B+, on his worst day, a flat B. He's okay. He's going to get beat sometimes, But having Bakhtiari back, at first I was like, I don't know, he might be rushing it. Like, why the fuck? They waited for 2 goddamn years. Why the fuck bring him back now? And you know what? No, he played pretty fucking well, for the most part. As soon as Bakhtiari was on the field, I mean, we're actually getting some ground yards, and, I'm glad that he's back. So, but if it's one of those things where, like, hey, for the next 3-4 games, we're going to play it safe. We're going to go, drive with them, like they did. It started off, they were doing, like, Nijman, then Bakhtiari, then Nijman, but we'll see. Allen looked human, and Mahomes came down to earth. How do you feel about the juggernauts? Well, I think that it's just one of those things where, I mean, you're talking about, that they're just, it's one game, and so I don't want to overreact. But yes, when the Chiefs play that poorly, when the Bills have that much, that many, and they were both on the road. So, again, I don't think it's entirely fair to just be like, holy shit, like, the Bills played a divisional game. Those tend to be tough, but it's kind of inexplicable. The Colts seem to have the Chiefs' number. Well, I think they're like, maybe they're like, I every time that I tune in, the Chiefs lose to the Colts. But I don't know. We'll have to do some research on that. And then just talking a little bit, about the Packers' victory. It's weird to me. I mean, I mentioned it last week, but why do they start off so fucking hot? Or they get hot, but then, I mean, just cool off instantly. I know that they had that fumble into the end zone, but it's like, guys, like, you just fucking crumple? What the hell happened? Or was it just that they got so much momentum, and then that happens every time that the Packers lose, suffer a turnover, shall we say? Defense and special teams both played obviously excellently, so much so that I would say, like, it's no longer a liability on either of those sides. I mean, it's kind of, we took 2 turnovers. We took 2 timeouts in the first half. We ended up winning, I know that, but, we always got to look at, like, things that you can improve on. It might be worth improving the silent count, because it's, It's like, I know that that's like not the, but I think one of them just flatly like Myers didn't, hike the ball, didn't snap it. But I don't know. I mean, could be nothing. We just talked about Bakhtiari in the presser. I thought that it was weird because Aaron Rodgers was talking about a catch, and he said mink, and then I think he was talking about like a run or something like that, and he said bada bing bada boom. So it's like, what, no big deal or anything. I'm not busting the guy's balls, but it was pretty fucking funny to just hear it for whatever Aaron Rodgers is, and I know he's kind of a liar, and he's fucking not vaccinated and shit like that. And those are things that I would love to have back as a Packers fan. If he was that, then hard to hate him for anything at that point. But I mean, you can't fucking. He's funny as shit. Like, he's funny as fuck to me. All right, moving on. Let's just run through the picks, and then we'll call it a podcast, boys and girls. So just going down the list of the games as they are slotted at NFL, NFL.com. Dolphins, Bengals. Man, I don't, Dolphins, you know what? No, I got to give the Dolphins their flowers, and the Bengals have one whole fucking win through 3 weeks, and there's real argument. They should be at least 2-1. I'm going to go with Dolphins, though. Vikings, Saints. Vikings, although, you know what? They played down to their competition, so I wouldn't be surprised if the Saints won. Seahawks, Lions, Jets, Steelers, question mark. Bears, Giants. Do we see the Bears coming in to MetLife Stadium and taking a W from who should be a 3-0 team? I don't think so. I don't think that it's going to happen. I think that the Giants are going to be 4-0, some crazy how. Titans, Colts. God, I gotta believe the Colts just got that one-off win. They really didn't look that fantastic to me. So I'm going to say the Titans. Chargers, Texans. Man, the Chargers look bad. Do not fucking play Herbert. I really believe that with his injury, you got a better chance with Chase Daniel. I'm going to say Texans. Until proven otherwise, you can't win. You can't win when your quarterback's hurt. Not like that. Browns, Falcons. Browns. You know what? Hey, I think I'm going to wear that crown. Brissett has not been playing wonderfully, and that's not what I said that he would do. I said people are saying that he's ass out loud, and he clearly is not. So I think I'm going to keep that one. Commanders, Cowboys. Well, no, I can't. Yeah, I think I don't really think that there's a big case for the Commanders. Jags, Eagles. Pretty sure it'll be Eagles. It's in Philly. I think the Eagles will take it. Bills, Ravens. Yeah, pick 'em. Bills. I want to say Bills. Cards, Panthers. Yeah, I know the Panthers just got to win. I shouldn't disregard them, but I think it's the Cards. Broncos, Raiders. Broncos, Pats, Pack. I think it's the Packers. It's in Green Bay. Chiefs, Bucks. It's in. Now, isn't that fucking? I wrote it down. I didn't even fucking consider it. Green Bay played in Tampa Bay. Kansas City plays in Tampa Bay. I mean, just fucking give it to them. Honestly, it's Chiefs, but no real reason to suspect that because it's in fucking Tampa Bay. I mean, he gets all the fucking. I don't understand it. Rams, Niners, Rams. Yeah, and guys, I don't know. That's it. That's a tight 14 right now. So after all this shit, I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys have a great night. Catch some football tonight. We want the Giants to win, I guess. I'm just suspecting that they will. You can always email me at GB-D2D@outlook.com or follow me on Twitter at GB_D2D. You guys take care. I'll see you soon.